Well, faithful, the NFL trade deadline is over, and the 49ers they made a couple of moves. Primarily and arguably the most important position in the whole team, that is running back. Hey, he might even put more emphasis on the running game than on the passing game. Talking about players, it might be that it's more important for them to have good running backs than good quarterbacks. Well, we acquire Christian McCaffrey from the Panthers, and we move Jeff Wilson Jr. to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, it hurts to see Jeff Wilson Jr. go, but I understand the move. The 49ers thinks that Elijah Mitchell is better than Jeff Wilson Jr. Then they have tremendous depth. There is Ty Davis Price, Jordan Mason, Tevin Coleman in the practice squad, and of course, our new running back, starter running back, Christian McCaffrey. So we have the depth. We have essentially very good players across the board. And knowing that Elijah Mitchell is coming back from the injury reserve, so one of the players needed to be either cut, waived, or released. And most likely, another team will claim them. So we will lose them without having anything in return. So getting a fifth round pick for Jeff Wilson Jr., it sucks. Because Jeff Wilson Jr., it is a very good player. He started 6 games for us this season. He almost had 500 yards already. Amazing numbers. Even he has his longest run in his career in this year, 40 plus yards, receiving yards, touchdowns. Amazing player, hell of a player. Now, if you put it into the context, yes, of course, we trade Jeff Wilson Jr. for a fifth round pick is not enough. How is that possible? It is such a good player, but in reality, it is you get the fifth round pick or you don't get nothing. He will be waived or any other of the running backs, and you're going to lose them. Now, Davis Price and Jordan Mason, they don't have any trade value. Elijah Mitchell doesn't have any trade value because he's injured. The only running back besides Christian McCaffrey that it might have some value in the market, it was Jeff Wilson Jr. So there was no room for error in coming into these trades. Absolutely. Now, if this is a big if Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell they stay healthy, well, we have one of the best tandems of running backs in the NFL. Besides now the Miami Dolphins. Now in the Miami Dolphins, they have Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Chase Edmonds. Hell of an amazing running back group. 2 former 49ers and 1 former Cardinal. So knowing Mac McDaniels and knowing very good his players, that's why he traded for Jeff Wilson Jr. There's no doubt about it. The Miami Dolphins they got way much better after the trade for Jeff Wilson Jr. So even if it sucks and hurts to see Jeff Wilson Jr. go, it makes sense since the moment that the 49ers they trade for Christian McCaffrey. One of the players, one of the running backs now became available. It became expendable. And unfortunately, in this situation, it was Jeff Wilson Jr. Like I was mentioning before, Elijah Mitchell doesn't have a trade value. Ty Davis Price, even if he was a third round pick, and many people believe that he was better than Leonard Fournette, coming out of LSU, I don't know. We don't know. We haven't seen him a lot. In the first games, we saw him and he looked strong. He looked physical, coming and running between the tackles. Great. But after that, he got injured, and we haven't seen him since then. So we don't know yet what we have in Davis Price. I, we already lost two running backs this season. Trey Sermon went to the Eagles. Jamichael Hasty went to the Jaguars. So now Jeff Wilson Jr. is being a hell of a ride for the running backs in the 49ers. So hoping that Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell, they stay healthy. We have a veteran presence in Tevin Coleman. We have that power factor with Ty Davis Price. And Jordan Mason, which is very intriguing because in the footage that we have seen in the trainings, he looks amazing. He looks natural running the routes and catching the balls. And looks big and strong. And we saw it a couple of runs in the preseason. And he looked fantastic. So he might be another undrafted free agent that would come back and becomes the next Jeff Wilson Jr. or the next Raheem Mostert. We don't know yet. So we have the depth, we have the talent, just hoping and crossing our fingers that Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell, they can stay healthy. That is the most important. If one of those or both players, they get injured, then we are in a lot of trouble. And, I mean, to be realistic, it is very likely that one of the running backs is going to get injured. And I hopefully, and knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But if it happens, not to be a serious injury. We know the history of running backs. In 6 years, with the 49ers under Kyle Shanahan, every single season we had a different leading rusher for our team. From Carlos Hyde, Matt Breida, Jeff Wilson, Elijah Mitchell. Every single year is different. So this year, being Jeff Wilson Jr., our leader in rushing yards, we know now that somebody else is going to be the lead in rushing yards. Like I'm saying, it sucks, but probably it will be better to get the 5th round pick than just waive one of the players and see other teams to claim them. So, and other part, on the running backs and why they're so important for our system, it is not only how good of a player they are, but the impact that they have on games. Let me explain a little bit more. If you trade for Christian McCaffrey and he runs for 100 yards every single game, but we don't win, well, even if he's a very good player, he's not been an impactful player for our team. Now, Christian McCaffrey, if he doesn't run for 100 yards, but he counts 3 touchdowns for your team, like it count against the Rams, well, you not only have a very good player, but now you have a impactful player in that position. Now, I'm not saying that Jeff Wilson Jr. wasn't that type of a player. We saw game after game scoring the touchdown, scoring the winning touchdown. So Jeff Wilson Jr. was not only a good player, but he was also an impactful player. Elijah Mitchell, we saw many situations that he was running for 100 yards, but also he got that push or that play that will put the 49ers in a position to win the game. So we know that Elijah Mitchell is also an impactful player. Good news for the 49ers. But at the end, great player, Jeff Wilson Jr. I know that he's going to have a hell of a career with the Miami Dolphins. He got his former, I don't know, assistant coach in Mike McDaniels. He's going to take good care of him. He's going to make him even a better player. I have no doubt about that. Okay, let me know what you think about the trades. Unfortunately, we didn't make any more moves. I wanted to see more moves from the 49ers. But with the Christian McCaffrey and the Jeff Wilson Jr., we close this NFL trade deadline and hoping that the 49ers, after this, they get better. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. And like always, see you in the next one.